How on the heart of Chicago, in the mid-90s with Red Baby's Satan emblem, became a sign of violence and drug trafficking that dominated neighborhoods. The Satin Disciples owning the streets with calculated brutality. In this video, we will find how did they spread across the U.S. and set the pillars of fears on the street of Chicago.
With their infamous baby devil emblem, the Satin Disciples are a dark part of Chicago's gang history. Founded in 1959 by the mysterious King Satan on 15th and Tallman in Chicago's North Lawndale, their smart organization and strength helped them grow to become one of the city's largest gangs, which then led to them eventually expanding their reach to wreak havoc in other U.S. states. In Mesa County, Colorado, the gang took advantage of an underfunded street crimes unit and terrorized locals in the area. Led by SD leader Christopher Wilson, the gang's crimes included the robbery of a house before setting fire to it, the armed robbery of a grocery store, the attempted robbery of a First National pawn shop, and the murder of 20-year-old Caleb Fettig, whose body was found with multiple stab wounds at a trailer park in Grand Junction. But despite the problems that the street crimes unit faced, their investigations led to Satan soldier Terrence T.J. Richardson being arrested and charged with Fettig's murder after reports that he had bragged about killing Fettig in the days after. And SD leader Wilson was sentenced to 196 years behind bars for his role in leading the gang's terror. In 2021, a year-long investigation in Lake County, Illinois, led to busting 10 SD members, with the raid seizing 15 firearms, 4,000 grams of cocaine, and over 170 grams of methamphetamine. Detectives were also able to successfully stop at least 2 planned drive-by shootings. But it's back in the city of Chicago where the SDs are a real force. Naming themselves the Satin Disciples after being inspired by a local priest, the gang was mainly run by Czechoslovakian and Polish white males. Over time, young Mexican men were also brought into the ranks, which boosted their numbers. Their quick territorial expansion soon fueled fierce rivalries against the Gaylords, Ambrose, the Latin Counts, and eventually the Latin Kings and the Almighty Saint. Trouble with the Almighty Saints began after the SDs started a set in the 1980s on 51st and Wood in the Back of the Yards neighborhood, a notorious Chicago area known for gang activity. It was a territory that the Saints were already running, but that wasn't a problem for the SDs. And under the leadership of Agapito King Aggie Villalobos, who was running the gang from prison after being incarcerated for armed robbery, the SDs continued to tear into the city and other states, and their membership grew into the thousands. By the 1990s, the SDs had become one of the largest street gangs in Chicago, and smart organization meant that they allowed sets to open or close quickly if an area was not profitable enough or if police presence was too strong, which helped grow their profits and even venture into opening legitimate businesses. But in 1995, King Aggie was released from prison to find a divided allegiance among the SDs. Some gang members wanted second-in-command, Danny Gizmo Valencia, as the new king. However, tragedy struck in 1995 when Gizmo was shot and killed, allegedly by his own gang, with rumors swirling of a hit ordered by King Aggie himself. In the rap scene, 050 Shooda has made a name for himself repping the SDs. But another artist named Lil Icky never got the chance to make it after being shot and killed by an alleged Latin King member in 2020. 050 Shooda has a reputation for dissing the Kings on his social media, and the SD's beef with other gangs has led to other deadly incidents over the years. Almighty Saints member Pedro Ruiz was incarcerated in Chicago's Cook County Jail for just 30 minutes when he was beaten to death with a sock full of soap bars by his cellmate, SD soldier Christian Gonzalez. Gonzalez, who was in jail on charges relating to shooting a Saints leader, later confessed that he deliberately killed Ruiz because he was a Saint. There has never been answers as to why the rival gang members were placed together and why it took guards more than 20 minutes to respond to the scene. In 2013, 19-year-old Latin Kings member Esteban "Sniper" Sotelo and a 14-year-old shot a 29-year-old Satin Disciples member 6 times whilst he was shielding his toddler daughter from bullets. The unnamed victim, who had just left his mother's house with his wife and child, was stopped by Sotelo, asking, "What's up?" before he opened fire. The SD member survived, and after his arrest, Sotelo admitted that the shooting was an initiation for the 14-year-old into the Latin Kings, as they believed the victim to be a member of the SDs. The gang rivalry has not only claimed the lives of its members, but also resulted in the tragic deaths of innocent civilians. In 2016, Jamil Al-Shoubi was out walking his dogs when SD soldier Hector Aguirre got out of a stolen Jeep Commander and fired 16 shots with an assault-style rifle. Shoubi was struck 3 times, and 1 dog also was killed. Aguirre had mistaken his target for a member of the Latin Saints and is currently facing a charge of first-degree murder. In 2019, 36-year-old Candace Dickerson was out shopping with her 3 young children when she was killed by a stray bullet through a store window. During the police investigation, video footage of the attack showed SD members flashing rival gang signs at some men in another car just moments before shots were fired. SD members Bryant Mitchell and Marco Zabala were eventually tracked down, and in January 2023 were both sentenced to more than 50 years each in prison. These civilian incidents underscore the devastating impact of gang violence on both the gang members and innocent lives caught in the crossfire. And the history of the Satin Disciples' dark legacy serves as a stark reminder of the complex challenges facing the city of Chicago.